What's up YouTube, it's me Gabe, and today we're going to be covering another Danganronpa Yu-Gi-Oh! Character Deck Profile. Today we're doing Tenko Chabashira, and we're doing an Amazonas deck profile for her. So the reason why I had Tenko go for Amazonas was because she's kind of like an Amazon if you think of it. And I'm not just saying that because of her fighting capabilities. I also kind of built it around Tenko's hatred towards men. Well, at first. But then I kind of wanted to include like at least some male cards into her. But just one, I promise. Anyways, so her deck will focus on swarming the field with the Amazonas monsters and also protecting them, while at the same time also getting out her boss monsters, Amazonas Empress and Amazonas Pet Liger. So, without further ado, let's dive into this. So first, we're going to be having Tenko run 3 copies of Amazonas Swordswoman. This monster has the effect where your opponent takes any and all battle damage involving this card. So this basically would act as one of Tenko's go-to monsters in case she ever draws it. And she also gets a... Plus, its special effect makes it pretty powerful if you think of it. And anyways, I'm also having her run 1 copy of Amazon's Chainmaster, where if it's ever destroyed in battle, Tenko can play 1500 life points in order to add a monster from her opponent's hand to her deck. To her hand. So this would basically on how Tenko can steal her opponent's monsters, like any boss monsters or cards or hand traps. And also right off the bat, I'm having her run 2 copies of Amazonas Trainee, where this monster has the special effect where hold on, let me grab one real quick. Where any monster that destroys it by battle is returned to the bottom of the owner's deck instead of going to the graveyard, and if it destroys a monster by battle, it gains 200 attack. Well, I kind of wanted to try going for a bit of a... Truthfully, I just added this to get rid of her, for Tenko to get rid of any problematic monster, preventing monsters from going to her opponent's graveyard. And even though this isn't technically an Amazonas card, I have Tenko also running 2 Lady Assailant of Flames, where it has the flip effect where, there we go, where it can banish the top 3 cards of her deck to inflict 800 points of damage to her opponent. I kind of added this card to her deck last minute since it kind of looks like an Amazonas almost. But I don't know. You guys tell me. And anyways, I'm also having Tenko run 3 copies of Amazonas Archer, where it has the special effect to attribute 2 monsters in order to inflict 1200 points of damage to her opponent's life points, which basically helps out. Now, I really didn't think of having any cards to include to have her get to summon, but if she can swarms the field with 2 copies of this card, she can set and gets another Amazonas out, she can be able to inflict 2400 points of damage in one go. And that's pretty good if you tell me. Then I also have 1 copy of Amazonas Sage, where if it ever attacked and is still on the field, Tenko can destroy a spell or trap on the opponent controls. I also have her running 2 copies of Amazonas Princess, where it basically acts as a main searcher for Amazonas spells or traps. And if it ever battles, Tenko can send 1 card from her other card on her hand or field to the graveyard to special summon an Amazonas monster from her deck. I kind of also have this card running in place of Amazonas Queen, since I really don't have any copies of that card, sadly. And it also acts as a fusion substitute for her monsters. I also have Tenko running 3 copies of Amazoness Spy, mostly to fit in with the swarming effect. And kind of running out of space here. Sorry about that. I also have her running 3 copies of Warrior Lady of the Wasteland. If it's destroyed by battle, Tenko can special summon 1 Earth Warrior with 1500 or less attack from her deck in attack mode. So this would basically act as a searcher for her deck. And to round up the monsters, I have her running 2 copies of the Earth Hex Sealed Fusion. Once again, acting as fusion substitutes for Amazoness Tiger and Amazoness Queen for her fusion monsters. So yeah, that's about it. Now, I apologize guys, but I kind of thought of doing this video last minute, and if I ever kind of do these kind of things to you guys, I humbly apologize. And for any Amazoness duelists out there, I am very sorry if I offend you in any way possible with this deck profile. Yeah, I know I don't have a lot of the proper cards needed, so I just grabbed whatever, looked at whatever I could find in my deck. So, yeah, I'm really sorry, guys. Anyways, moving on to the spells, I have Tenko running 3 copies of Amazoness Call, where she can be able to search out any Amazoness card and either send it to the graveyard or add it to her hand. And by removing it from play, Tenko can have 1 Amazoness monster attack all monsters your opponent controls once. So basically it'll help if she gets Amazoness Queen out on the field, or Empress, Tenko can basically just wipe out the entire board in one go. And I also have her running 2 copies of Amazoness Village, where for a power boost and bringing on Amazoness monsters from the deck. I have her running 1 copy of Amazoness Heirloom to protect her monsters from being destroyed in battle once, and auto-destroying an opponent's monster if it battles. I also have her running 3 copies of Polymerization as a way to get as a way to get her fusion monsters out. I have her running 1 copy of Tribute to the Doom to discard for the cost of a card. Tenko can destroy a monster the opponent controls. I have her running Twin Twister for back row support, Lucky Iron Axe for a power boost, Fusion Gate for fusion summoning, Infernal Reckless Summon for swarming, Crossover to equip an opponent's monster onto 1 warrior monster she controls, and 1 Terraforming to search out the field spell, and lastly 1 Burden of the Mighty to weaken her opponent's monsters by 100 points for each of its level. And that just about does it for the trap cards, or spells. And now, moving on to the traps. Sorry about that, guys. I just kind of had to cough. Now, moving on to the traps, I have her running 2 copies of Amazoness Onslaught for special summoning an Amazoness and increasing its power, and to basically auto-destroy a monster if an Amazon, while it or banish an opponent's monster when an Amazoness battles. I have her running 1 copy of Archer to force all of her opponent's monsters to lose attack and attack point, and force them to attack. I have her running 1 Magical Cylinder to get Magic Cylinder out to their field and from her deck or graveyard to her field. And if she activates Magic Cylinder, she can remove this trap from her graveyard to double the damage. And of course, to combo it, I have 1 Magic Cylinder for negating an attack and dealing damage to an opponent. And lastly, I have 1 Safe Zone to prevent her monsters from getting 1 attack position monster she controls from being destroyed by battle. And yeah, that's about it. So that about does it for the traps in the main deck. Now on to the extra deck. So I have her running 3 copies of Amazoness Empress to act as her signature monster. I also have her running 3 copies of Amazoness Pet Liger. And I also have her running 1 copy of Heroic Champion Kusanagi, 1 copy of number 41 Baguska, 1 copy of Tornado Dragon, and 1 copy of Tsubaba General. To be honest, you guys, I really kind of don't want to explain a lot of these effects, because it's kind of laid out, and I'm starting to get a little tired. So, yeah. And just like I did in my previous videos, I did not prepare a script again. But frankly, I think I'm just gonna try not to do this kind of script thing and just try winging it. And also, guys, I apologize if the camera angles seem very off or shaky. I'm kind of holding this thing with my phone with my hand, and sometimes it just affects whenever I move my body. It affects the way and how I hold the camera. But anyways, that's it for the deck profile. So I hope you guys will have a good time, and if you guys have any recommendations for other cards I can add to the deck, please do let me know. I'm always open for ideas, and please let me know of which Danganronpa character I should do a deck profile for, and let me know what kind of deck they should use. Anyways, guys, that's about it. So, bye.